What's up, everybody? Colin here from Campus to Canton, back with another early signing day update. Shazz Preston, wide receiver from St. James, Louisiana, signs with Alabama. Preston was originally thought to be leaning towards LSU, but Bama was always in the picture, and Bama made a late charge by bringing him in for a visit late last week. Since then, it was really expected that Preston would sign with the Crimson Tide. Shazz Preston is a four-star prospect and the number three wide receiver and number 43 player overall in the composite. The 24/7 is a good bit lower on him than the composite. They're ranking him as the number 17 wide receiver and the number 108 overall player, but they do still have him as a four-star. Preston's a four-star prospect and the number five wide receiver on Rivals, a five-star prospect, the number three wide receiver on ESPN, and a four-star and the number 21 wide receiver for On Three. In addition to football, Preston was a three-sport athlete in high school, also playing basketball and running track. Preston's already solidly built at 6 foot, 190 pounds. He's a fluid mover. He can make defenders miss with the ball in his hands. He can pick up some extra yak. He is a good athlete, but he's better laterally than he is in a straight line. He does run a variety of routes, and he does run them effectively. His routes are crisp. He snaps off his routes. He doesn't round them off, so it's definitely something you like to see. Definitely speaks his potential as a route runner. He can work the intermediate area of the field as well as the deep area. He can be used in the screen game somewhat, but that's likely not his best asset. Now, his best asset is his ball skills. He tracks the ball very well in the air. He's very good body control. He makes adjustments in the air, uses his body to effectively shield the defender, and he high points the ball really well. He's very strong at the catch point. You can tell he played basketball. You can definitely tell that translates on the field. Preston has solid speed, like I mentioned, but it's not great. He lacks the ability to break away, and he frequently gets caught from behind on long catch and runs. And like I mentioned, he does run good routes, but he does need to develop his release moves off the line. That's only going to serve to help him with his separation. Right now, he mostly relies on a quick first step, and he shows the ability to catch the ball out away from his frame. And he has several highlight reels on his tape, but he does let the ball get into his frame when he doesn't really need to. I'd like to see him catch the ball outside of his body more often than he does. Preston projects as a very safe wide receiver. He has the traits and the technical ability that should translate well to the next level. He's likely an outside wide receiver, but he does have some position versatility. He could play inside if he had to. Now, Preston is entering an Alabama wide receiver room that is always stocked with talent. Jamison Williams is really the only wide receiver right now that I feel good about leaving since Mechie got hurt so late in the year. And they brought in four high-end wide receiver recruits last year in Ja'Cory Brooks, JoJo Earl, Aguiye Hall, and Christian Leary. They're bringing in another crop of top wide recruits this year as well. In addition to Preston, they're bringing in Aaron Anderson, Kobe Prentice, and Isaiah Bond. Now, Bond is technically an athlete, but he is expected to play wide receiver for the Crimson Tide. But Preston does have a different skill set than any of the guys they have brought in recently. I would be surprised if he earned anything more than a bit role in year one, but Preston's skill set does lend me to believe that he should have a role here entering year two. Now, Preston may be the wide receiver three in the composite, but he's not really being talked about like you'd expect the wide receiver three to be. I do expect that to change a bit as we get further into the offseason and the hype starts to build and the Alabama wide receiver hype starts to sink in. But I still see him as likely an early to mid second round pick for your supplemental drafts. For startups, he's currently going as the wide receiver 48 at the end of the 11th round through 5 of our mock drafts so far. I do expect this to climb a bit as the offseason goes on, like I mentioned, but I don't think his IDP is really going to go much higher than the 9th round. It's ADP. I think Preston represents much better value than the Bama wide receivers from last year. I think he's a really good value at his current ADP. I would absolutely target him at the end of the 11th round. I would target him even as high as the 9th round, like I mentioned. That's really going to do it here for Shazz Preston. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel here and check out all the other getting to know freshman videos that we're putting out.